Hi, my name is Chris Melnick and I'm a realtor in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Today I'm going to talk about selling a home in Halifax. Some people say that anyone can sell a home, and I'd absolutely agree. Even my dog could sell a home if it were priced $200,000 under market value. And eventually someone would figure out how to do a deal with a golden retriever if they could save $200,000. Clearly, just selling it is not the point. It would also need to sell for the right price, with the right conditions, with the right timeline, and potentially to the right people. And all of this needs to happen as smoothly as possible. This is where the value of working with a realtor comes into play. Now, different agents are going to do things differently, but this is how I do things. There are many things to consider when selling your home, but understanding your goals behind the sale is the most important. Are you just looking to get the highest price, sell with the least amount of stress, or sell within a certain time frame? Usually it's some combination of all of those. A good deal of planning takes place before the home is ever listed, so it's a good idea to speak with me as soon as the thought crosses your mind so I can give you suggestions on your best course of action. You're not obligated to list today, tomorrow, or ever. You can even call anytime just to bounce ideas off of me. Fairly quickly I can provide nearby sales and even give you a ballpark idea of what your home may be worth, because that's usually a big part of how you would plan your future. The more you're prepared, the better. Here's the process when you're ready to sell. First, an in-home meeting. During this step, we'll meet at your home to take a look at the home and discuss your goals and begin to come up with a strategy and timeline. If you're wondering if certain renovations are worthwhile, I'm always happy to lean on my construction experience to advise. To receive the maximum value for your home, you should make it look as much like a new home as possible. But that may not be what's best for you. I'll talk more about this later. Next, preparations. Prior to the listing, we'll make further preparations depending on your strategy. You may decide that you'd like to have work done or have some items fixed. Depending on the home, it can be a good idea to have a home inspection and well and septic inspection, if applicable, done beforehand too. This way you know what to expect and they may uncover issues that you'd like to have fixed. You can see my video on inspections to see the type of different inspections and what they may uncover. You may decide you'd like to put certain items in storage or move out completely. This can take weeks or months. Presentation is key to sales, so it's best not to rush the process and do things properly. Once everything is the way we'd like it, we'll have the professional photographers in, the drone photography done, and the 3D scanning done for the virtual tour. Next, listings and showing. The home will be on MLS, Realtor.ca, Viewpoint, the Royal LePage Atlantic website, and multiple social media platforms for maximum exposure. For showings, the typical strategy is to be very flexible and accommodating to ensure that anyone who's interested in the home is able to view it. If the type of home is in high demand, we'll have at least a few showings a day over a period of about 5 to 7 days. Some sellers choose to stay elsewhere at this time so that they're not constantly cleaning the home between showings. Depending on your plans, you may have already moved out completely. This will be ideal. Next, the process. We'll typically list on a Monday or Tuesday and have all offers due on the following Monday or Tuesday. After receiving all offers, we'll give all parties another opportunity to alter their offers after we inform them of the total number of offers to ensure we have as much competition as possible. On more unique homes, we may not receive any offers at this time. It's not uncommon for multi-million-dollar homes to take months to sell. There's just not many buyers at that level. Next, offers. Once we collect all offers after the deadline, we'll review them with your goals in mind. Price is usually one of the most important aspects, but the timeline, conditions, and the personal letter can be contributing factors for the winning bid. Ideally, a winning offer and the backup offer will be selected. Next, the conditional period. After we receive the winning offer, the prospective buyers have time to meet their conditions, which is usually financing and home inspection, among others. The bank may need to send an appraiser to the home, and the home inspector will need access as well. During the home inspection, the seller is to leave the home, and the home inspector inspects the home, usually while the buyer's agent and buyers are present. This can take 2 to 3 hours. The conditional period is typically 3 to 10 business days. Next, firm. If everything goes well, they'll remove the conditions and the deal is firm. Then we simply wait until closing. Next, closing. Leading up to closing, you'll have moved out and made arrangements to have your utilities and insurance stop. I'd also suggest forwarding your mail to your new address. The buyers will conduct a closing walkthrough, either the morning of or the evening before, to ensure everything is in the agreed upon condition. If everything is okay, they'll give their lawyer the okay to release funds to your lawyer. Once the lawyers inform us that the home is closed, it's officially sold and you're done. If you happen to be rolling that money into a new home, that money can be transferred the same day. Whereas if you're putting that money into an account, it usually takes 5 to 10 business days to be accessible. And that's the process. But now, some frequently asked question. For the biggest one, what does this cost? Selling your home with me costs a total of 5% of the purchase price plus HST. This is the rate you'll often see in the market, and it's evenly split between the listing agent, so 2.5%, and the buyer's agent, another 2.5%. Depending on the level of services, this can be negotiable. Should I renovate before listing the home? When thinking of possible renovations in your home, I would aim for consistency. If all the rooms in a home have been updated except for 2 bedrooms, I would advise updating the remaining bedrooms so the home can be completely updated. Alternatively, if you're thinking about renovating your 90s kitchen prior to listing, whereas everything else in the home is from the 90s too, I would skip that renovation. It would be out of place. Should I repair the home before listing? In general, you should repair anything that affects the functionality. This is the stuff a home inspector looks at. This could mean replacing the shingles, fixing leaking toilets, a broken window, a faulty septic system, any rotting wood, etc. Depending on the price level, a lot of potential buyers may be heavily relying on financing and may not be able to pay for the repairs in cash after taking possession. On the other hand, if the home is seen as a fixer-upper needing many cosmetic renovations and repairs, I would leave it as is because the cost to repair likely doesn't make financial sense. How long does this process usually take? This depends on many things, but if a home is showing ready, photography and 3D scanning can typically be done within a week, paperwork can be done congruently, and the listing can be live on MLS within a day or so of receiving the edited pictures. Then showings can happen over about a week. If an offer is accepted, it'll likely be conditional for 1 or 2 weeks, and the lawyers can close as quickly as about 2 weeks after the conditions have been removed. This adds up to about 5 weeks in the best case scenario if you wanted to sell as soon as possible and the buyer's also willing. When there's not a rush, the process typically takes a few months from when the home is ready. How do you establish the list price? This depends on the market conditions, expected value, physical condition, and location. What this comes down to is whether or not I expect a reasonable amount of competition, so 5+ offers, near what I consider the fair market value. If I do foresee that competition, I list it at $50K to $200K less than what I think is fair market value. This is because I want the 5+ buyers who are bidding in the fair market value range to think there are even more buyers in that range, to get them to push even higher. The more perceived interest, the more buyers are willing to bid up to their maximum budget. If I don't expect that much interest, I price it right around what I consider fair market value. Fair market value is based off what similar homes have recently sold for in the area. And that's all there is to it. I hope you've got some value out of this video, and if you're potentially interested in selling your home, feel free to contact me. My contact information is in the description. Goodbye.